Well, this is day one. It's finally got warm enough for me to work outside. So tomorrow's gonna be warmer than the day. So tomorrow I'm gonna paint my implements. It's in the shop. Today we'll work outside. Well, put the battery in it. Battery's too big, come rid of my M. But once we get everything settled in, we will get the correct battery in the box. But she spins over great. So now we're missing a spark plug wire, and someone has removed them all. So I had a used set of one wire here is missing. I have a used set of that came off my Super 8. So we're gonna put them on here real quick and do the firing order, and stay tuned so you can get this thing to fire up today. I ain't had to look no firing order, none up. Almost all of your 4-cylinder engines, no matter if it's a Ford Ranger, a Chevrolet, it don't matter. As far as I know, double check behind me if you want. 1342. So it'll be 1. We're turning clockwise. So 1, 3, 4 to the back. Spark plugs are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is up here. 1, 3 to the third. 1, 3, 4 to the back. And 2 to the front. 1, 3, 4, 2. Easy peasy, right? And that's a whole different issue, a whole different subject. But like if you put a distributor out and you need to put a firing order back in line, you will put a number 1 piston to the top, and double check that by your timing marks over here. And when you set the distributor back in, you will set your rotor button on number 1. So you be piston top dead center, line up with your timing marks, put your rotor button on 1, and then set the distributor in there, lock it down, and then after you get it running, you can tweak the distributor timing, a little bit, how you want to do it. But that's your firing order. 1342. Okay, got my test light grounded. Let's see if I can show this here. You put this here. So yeah, I got this wiring gonna have to be replaced, but this is what a ballast resistor does. Says 5.5 volts on that side. All right, I'm gonna touch bases on this right here real quick on this ballast resistor. My opinion, that's something that needs to be in the trash. That's a problem that you don't need. You're adding a problem to it, all right? You have these on there for these 12-volt conversions where you put a 12-volt battery in and then you switch the positive ground, positive to positive, negative, negative, positive ground means the positive is grounded and the negative is hot, all right? That's the old way with the 6-volt starter. I guess what the farmers would do back in the day, they would take and leave the 6-volt alternator on it, and you put this ballast resistor in here to cut down from 12 to 6. Well, simple terms, when this thing plays out on you, you ain't gonna have no fire, you ain't gonna run. This is a problem. This is a link in here that you don't need. Take that and throw it in the garbage. Hook you. You can run 12 volts to your 6-volt starter until it just won't run no more. Then when it plays out finally, which I have seen them take years upon years and years on running off of 12 volts onto a 6-volt coil, and for it to play out. But when it plays out, you replace it with a 12-volt coil that has an internal ballast resistor that don't cost no more than any other one. You throw that mess away, you eliminate 2 connections out your harness, and a problem that you don't need. I have 3 tractors here that's running straight to the coil off that switch up there with no ballast resistor. Now, I'm gonna touch on something else. 12 volts running 12 volts to a 6-volt starter, don't hurt it. It'll spin a little faster. When it plays out, you can replace it. The armature part is what's 6-volt, not the brushes. It's the armature part that you'll burn up. But if you replace it, you know, just replace it with a 12-volt starter. But they run a long time. That Super A is still running the original 6-volt starter. And it's been like that for at least 5 years now, because I converted that one. Anyway, give me a little information here on these ballast resistors and the coil, and the 6-volt, 12-volt ordeal. Throw that crap away. I have 3 tractors here. The M had one on it. I threw it away, and it's still running. I ain't sure about the coil. I don't know if it, I don't know about the coil. I said I'm gonna run it till the coil plays out. If the coil plays out, I know what I'm gonna go buy to replace it with. A 12-volt with an internal ballast resistor. You don't have no more problems. Anyway, I'm gonna touch on that. And you see that, all right? See that little piece there? That's cammed up. Ain't hardly no gap in there. These points look good. They look almost brand new. They look too good, matter of fact. But we're gonna clean them up, and I'm gonna show you how they set the points gap. Ain't nothing to it. The thing about a international with these horizontal distributors, it can be a booger to get in here. But the gap's almost completely closed on it, and I'm gonna clean them up, and it should go after that. Stay tuned. See, I got that stuck in between them points there. And spinning it. I hold it open with a screwdriver usually when I do it, and I clean them up. This is nothing but like a Dremel tool wire brush. The camera don't want to focus on that. Maybe get it up here. It's nothing but like a little Dremel wire brush. There you go. I don't use a Dremel tool. I use my little cordless drill here. But that's all it is. The camera will flip around sideways. Stick that in there, and that'll polish them right up. I'm gonna show you how to set them. Alrighty. I'm gonna use this as a pointer real quick. It's just a tight spot. That's why you don't see no videos on it. I couldn't video it neither. Loosen that screw up with a nub flat screwdriver, a little sharp nubby. Hold your finger on that, and you stick this feeler gauge in there, and you just push that against it. See how that's just rubbing? It's rubbing, it's going in there, but you don't want it to go in and push that out. If it's pushing that out when it goes in there, it's too close. You want that just to slide in there just gently without nothing moving. All right. Now, 20 thousandths of an inch, that's per the manual, 20 thousandths feeler gauge. All right. For anybody hops on this electronic ignition bandwagon, ask me why I didn't got electronic ignition. I'm gonna address that real quick. Okay, if I need this tractor today and I start it up and it's not getting no fire and that little electronic module is bad, well, it's either I don't get done what I want to get done today, or I got to go to Tractor Supply on Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. I got to put them back in there, because those are mail order items. Nobody stocks the electronic ignition that I know of local. But that's why I don't run them. There's nothing wrong with them. If they last, they last. I'm thinking about trying to set on my M, but I don't really want to do that because I need to move my corn totes around to grind hog feed, and then I ain't got no fire, then I'm stuck there. But anyway, that's the only reason I don't run them. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just if they ever quit working, you got that problem to deal with. You want to put the points back in, and if you need the tractor then and there, if that makes any sense. 20 thousandths there. Cleaned it with the drill with the Dremel tool, and I'll show you how to test it. Hook up your test light backwards. It'll work either way. It will not blow the bulb if you got a bulb type. Mine's a LED one. Something happened to this ballast resistor. Now it's showing 12 volts on both sides. It was showing 5.5. Now it's showing 12. That's fine. Well, no, it's showing 6.5, but it's showing 12 up here. So I wonder how we get from 6 back to 12 inside of this distributor. All right, hook your test light up backwards, hook the ground to the hot, and you're testing for a ground. if you're getting ground through both sides of it after it's closed, that means they should work. They should. I got a little arc in there. They should work. All right, stay tuned. Hey, test, see if your current's right in your inside of that. Hook test light up backwards. Show you something real cool. The original coil wire has IH stamped on the coil wire boot. All right, I believe this is the one that was on it. It's all cracked and busted up. This is, see that one stamped in there? Number 1 spark plug wire. I don't see IH stamped on these no more, but that's an original coil wire. I think the ones with the IH, the number 1 stamped into the cap are original ones. I don't see, I'm looking, I don't see it stamped anywhere IH, but those are the only ones I've seen with that one stamped on it. But that is an original coil wire, but none of these plug wires that has that stamped on it IH. That's pretty cool there. A little weak. We got fire. Now we're gonna go to the fuel side. We're gonna go over here to the fuel side and see what we got going on over there now. Well, the guy had bought this from, took the drain plug out the radiator. We have not removed the carburetor. It's got fuel flow, so that means the float's working and it ain't overflowing. We got fire, so he had drained the radiator. I had 1 gallon here. I put that in there. And we're gonna try it and see what happens. If I can just get it to run good enough for me to move it around, so I can get to drag it around, I'll be satisfied for now. Truck control is good on oil. Engine oil is fine. We got gas, we got fuel flow, we got fire. Let's see what happens. Well, let's see what happens. I'm gonna pull the choke on it, but it ain't cranked in years. What's the problem here? Oh, good. All right. Oil pressure. Idling so high. I have not touched the carburetor on this thing either. For some reason, the belts ain't turning. Anyway, that's the first start in years. I don't know how many years, but it's been right many years. Do the whole video together from this first start. Well, the engine runs great in it, but I wanted to crank it. I cranked it up. I'm gonna tie a little bit slack and add a little slack and add when I bring it here. But when I started it up, and you heard it running, I ain't touched the carburetor. Had gas in the bowl, so I left it alone. I said, I just wanted to run it where I can move it around. I still can move it around. But when I pushed the clutch in to put it in gear while it was running, because I was going to drive it down here to the air hose and top these tires off and ride it around and smile on the camera, the clutch went blah, 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 blah on the inside. So I pulled the inspection cover off, and it done knocked all the fingers off of it. These little fingers go on the throw it burn. And these little fingers is what pushes the pressure plate in to release the clutch disc. Why it did that, I do not know. And no, it's not as simple as putting them back on, putting pins back in them, because that one's broke. And this one's been cracked for a long time. It finished it off right there. You see that's a fresh break. But the other part of it was already broke or cracked. So that's been a problem for quite a few years. None of these probably one of these pins came out, because you look, the washer's gone off of that one in the clip. Doesn't come at the inspection cover hole. So it's probably been a problem for a long time. Probably the pins didn't work their way out, probably a war and a half. So what we're gonna do now is I can drive it. Like I said, you just gotta leave it in gear, start it in gear, basically. But what we're gonna do now is, man, this thing is on the tear down, repaint list anyways. I worked the hydraulics. Everything on the hydraulics is working. I don't see no crazy leaks, not even on the touch control. Nothing crazily pouring on the ground. I don't see no engine oil leaks, no antifreeze leaks, nothing pouring on the ground. I might replace these axle seals here while I got it took apart, but I'm not sure if that's oil or just grease from people greasing that bearing. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna knock these cultivators off, leave them out here, and basically get these cultivators off. Might probably gonna pull the hood too and get it in there and clean it up, pull it apart, split it, and replace the clutch, pressure plate, throw it burn, pallet burn. This ain't gonna be as bad as a 140 or Super A, because they're 140 Super A is offset and always wants to turn over to this side. You need to block the front end up, and you'll be real careful, because they will roll over on you if that block pops out. So these ain't as bad. This little thing here ain't nothing to, but I need to get it to the pressure washer before I get too far. I'm hoping I can drive it around, because with it in gear, it's rotating the engine with it in gear. So let's see here. I don't know what the gear pattern is on this thing here. No, I'm lying. I might be locked up in the rear end, because it ain't nothing turning. Maybe I have a bigger problem than I thought I had. Oh, there it goes. See, it's turning now. It's turning the engine, so I should be able to crank it in gear and drive it over to the pressure washer. Get all this old oil, gunk, and grease off of it. We might have a hydraulic leak right here, but someone welded it or soldered it too. But we're gonna get it all cleaned up. Get these cultivators off, get it in there, split it, clean it up. I guess then just paint it. Just paint it as I'm putting them back together, a little bit by degree. I won't need this to cultivate with until May or so. So that was a good start today, though. Got it started up and got it running. I mean, ran good. I ain't touched the carburetor yet. It ain't idling down like it's supposed to. If I mess with the throttle shaft over here, I can get it to purr like a kitten if I mess with the throttle shaft. I think, I hear all that slop in the carburetor. Look at that thing. See it? All that's in the shaft. I think it's going to need a new throttle shaft on it, probably some O-rings. I believe that's a Carter carburetor. That's not a Zenith. I believe it's a Carter. I got a big throat Zenith in there. When did that work on here? Gotta put that big throat Zenith on here. Anyway, that's where we at with the 230. We're gonna get these knocked off and get it in the shop. Get it cleaned up first and get it in the shop. And put it back together piece by piece. Paint it up as I go. It's gonna be a long, lengthy project because I don't have the money for this right now. $300 for a clutch by itself. That broke emblem's gonna be replaced. The gauges, the lights, and all the hitch stuff worked on it. Everything worked on touch control. So, we're gonna get it together. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is a 230 update. And I brought this to the house on December the 12th or 13th, and I'm just touching it 6 weeks later. So 5 weeks, 6 weeks later. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy the video.